I believe this is live. Today is the 11th of October. It's actually 12:30 a.m. right now. I've been waiting all day to make this video. Anyways, social media today is really bad. It totally sucks. It's so bad. It's terrible. But I'm sure that's not a surprise to any of you. I'm gonna make a better one soon. I've already started work on it. I'll explain more later. But I'm gonna make something better. Let me tell you why I think it's really bad. I'm sure you already know this. But I thought I would state it anyways. And I'll tell you the general outline of the plan that I have for the social media platform I plan to create. And I'll talk about that towards the end of the video. I have them written down on my phone as notes, right? Now, before I say anything bad about social media, first of all, I think it did something totally unprecedented, right? You have access to so many more people now. That has its upsides and downsides. But more than anything else, social media amplifies what our experience would have been anyways. So someone who would have been angry and envious, it's just going to be more of that. Someone who's going to be happy and cheerful and inspired all the time. It's just going to be more of that. Social media tends to amplify feelings, but the problem is, sure, those extremes will always be there, but they also amplify things like your insecurities and stuff like that, right? Things that are like to a controllable level for most people, most normal people. But when these are amplified by social media, they really start to get out of hand, right? So, when did I first realize this? Oh, I have always had bad taste regarding social media. I don't like it, just as a general concept. Maybe that's because of my personality, just the kind of person I am, So yeah, I was never big on it. I never really wanted to be the kind of person who's like, yeah, let's put all of my life on social media that everyone see and like, and all that stuff. No, just not a big fan of all of that, right? So that is why I always kind of did not like social media. I was never really into it. But I saw all my friends make an account, post stuff, make stories, send each other snaps, all of that. So I know what the culture is like, But I think a defining moment for me, as I think it would be for many other people, was the documentary The Social Dilemma, right? I have watched it many, many, many times. And I think after the first time I watched it, I talked to my friends about it on Discord, not on any other platform. And I was like, dudes, we gotta make something better. And I think it has been like 1.5, 2 years now. And I was preoccupied. There's this thing called high school, 11th and 12th. You really gotta study, or at least you can't do anything else meanwhile. And I really did not have the confidence to do this, because I thought it's like, come on, like it's something that I can't do. It's beyond me, right? But right now, I feel like everyone's kind of hating social media. I think the iron is hot. It's time to strike. Also, I really feel like I want to make it, because now that I'm done with my studies, everyone's on social media. Like, that is how they keep up with everything that's going on in life. I don't give my phone number out to many people. I don't check statuses or stuff like that. So it gets hard to keep up with people, right? Especially when everyone else knows so much more about everyone else's life. You kind of feel left out, right? Now, that is not really the primary motivation. I just see something going really wrong and I want to fix it. But that is a personal motivation. I was like, yeah, I want to stay more connected with people, because now the thing is, like, I'm done with 12th, right? I'm going to start college soon. And I'm not going to see my friends again. Like, not at least in like a social capacity, because all of us will go our different ways. We'll have different groups, as in like friend groups. So it's going to be difficult to keep up with them. And that is why I was starting to look into social media again. I was like, maybe I should explore it again. But I don't think I can do that. I think it's terrible. I just don't think I can bring myself to do that. So I was like, you know what? I'll just make something of my own where I can post the stuff that I want to post, and where I can be friends with my friends, right? That is what I want to do ultimately. That is the goal of any social media, right? But Social Dilemma was a big turning point for me. I think I have watched it like multiple times, probably like 4 or 5 times by now. It's always a great watch. Yeah, I think that was it. And I really told I was like, dudes, we gotta make something so much better than this. This is totally sucks. Um, we gotta make something much better. Now, on that note, what social media apps do I use? Because I thought I'll just give you some context. I don't know if you consider YouTube a social media app, but I do use a lot of YouTube, right? That is my poison of choice. If that's like the thing that you consider social media. If you don't consider that social media, I'm sure you consider Reddit a social media. I'm on multiple subreddits. I'm quite active there. Um, by quite active, I mean I open it daily, right? Or like 5 times a week at least. So I'm quite active on Reddit. Now, there's like different dimensions to it. Yeah, sure, I use it for things that I'm interested in, but I also use it for some entertainment. So, yeah, whatever. So, Reddit. I did use Instagram for a couple of months after my 10th grade. Did not like it. It just too much of a time suck. So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to use it. It's not worth my time. Snapchat I've never used. Facebook, never really touched that, apart from creating an account once to get in contact with some people for my company, my previous company. And the next time that I used it, I was trying to actually set up integration for the current social media company that I am trying to build, or I'm going to build. So I was trying to set up Instagram integration, because a lot of people who might use this will have Instagram as well, right? So I was like, you know what, let's give them a quick way to sign in with Instagram. People like that nowadays. So I was like, I'll set it up. But because I haven't used Facebook in so many months, they suspended my account, and I've been trying to get my account back. At some point, I think I'll just make another account using another email and do that. I have to sign up through the developer portal, but the developer portal has the same login as your normal portal, so it's weird. I don't know why it's like that. I mean, I get it, but like, it's annoying. Anyways, another reason I hated my time. Okay, wait, 1 second. On the other apps, Facebook, I never really used it. It's before my generation. Well, let's see what social media apps there are, right? So, list of social media apps. I'm using Chrome on guest mode, so I don't have my extensions. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Oh yeah, I am on Twitter as well, but I use it like a few times a month. And I am also on Instagram right now as well, but that is I'm not active there. I used it like once or twice a week just to text with my friends who are on the account that I created for my last company. It's not even a personal account, so I don't post anything there. I don't even watch stories there. Anyways, so Twitter I'm on. It's just kind of a toxic place, so I don't go there. Tumblr, come on. Pinterest, as much as I would like to be on Pinterest, I'm not on Pinterest because I don't know, I just never got it. I guess. Snapchat again, I'm not on that. Yeah. So I don't think, oh yeah, WhatsApp, I am on WhatsApp you kind of need to be on, right? Because communicating with family and stuff. Okay, so those are all social media platforms I am on, and my take on that. Too many notifications. One second. Wait a second. I think I should open up the chat for this because I won't be able to see if anyone talks. That is a weird problem to have. I hope this is going public. Oh yeah, someone's watching. I don't know if someone's watching actually. I should really have done this better. Wait a second. Content, live, and yeah. Okay, 0 views. Great. No one's up. Cool. Okay, so I don't have to monitor chat then. Another great thing. Too many notifications. Way too many notifications. Even if you turn them off, like there are in-app notifications as well, like those apps. Like someone liked your video. I don't know what else they have. I forgot. I don't remember. But they're like someone saved your thing. Probably would be another. Someone uploaded something. There's always something new shiny to click on, right? Just like a new story or a new post, you know. Too many notifications that are like so many, and it's so annoying. I hate notifications. I'm like, if I am working on something, let me stay in the flow. I don't like being distracted by other things. So I keep my notifications off anyways, but there are in-app notifications as well. Reddit has that. I get it, but it's like I don't like that it has badges. I know most people prefer it that way because you can see how many people have liked or commented or anything, or you'd know that. But I like just clicking on it when I want to, and then seeing all the things that I should want to see or something, right? I don't like having all those new shiny things to click on, new content, new thing, someone interacted with you. Yeah. I don't like notifications at all. Hate them. I really don't like being interrupted when I'm in the flow, right? I like staying there. It's a difficult place to get to, and as soon as there's a distraction, your mind just pulls away, man. See, I think I don't know if this is true. Like I haven't read a research paper on this or something like that, but I once read that your IQ drops by like 10 points if you have a notification on your phone that you haven't checked, or like basically if you're solving something, right, and then you have your notification or you have your phone on your side, and then it gets a notification, and then it's like your brain goes, let's check that, and you're like, no, I want to focus on this. So I don't know, I think it's because of that you lose like 10 points of your IQ or your mental ability basically. And since the average is 100, you're losing like 10% of your brain power just because of a simple stupid notification. Don't use notifications. I think on the other hand, a lot of us like the distraction. A lot of us are like, yeah, someone interacted with something I did. We all like that validation, or that, I don't know, almost human contact. Someone liking something we did, or someone saving something we did. Like, I'm sure it's like a huge dopamine surge in your brain. Like, yeah, good job. Social validation. Let's go. Suggestions. Yeah, that's another thing I don't like a lot. Now there are different kinds of social medias, right? I don't think Snapchat has this. I think the way that they have it set up, I'm pretty sure that they don't have suggested content. I don't like suggested content on my social media feed. YouTube, I'm okay with. I have uBlock Origin, so I block the home feed, or I try it. Sometimes I just take it out, but most months of the year I have it blocked, so I don't have suggested content on my home feed, right? I use subscriptions. But yeah, I just don't. I'm more okay with YouTube though. I never really click on suggested videos. I usually know what I'm looking for, so I search, which is what YouTube is. It's a search engine. Anyways, so that is how I use YouTube. But I'm okay with YouTube serving you suggestions. I like how Reddit does this. You subscribe to subreddits and you really get posts only from subreddits that you have subscribed to. They added this annoying feature, suggested content or something like that. I disabled it. I think, or at least I haven't seen it in a while, so that's good. But it's super annoying when people try and like these companies try and suggest me content. I'm like, I don't want to watch that. um, and especially on your on your social media. Like imagine, like I think it does not violate most people of my age, but imagine your WhatsApp, and you're on your WhatsApp and you randomly get like this phone number and you're like, yeah, text him. They like bears, or maybe I don't know, carving ice. And then you're like, yeah, engage with them. And then they do this every time you open the app, right? That is what it feels like to me. It's super annoying. Like, just let me do what I want to do. I'm not here to just play around with what you have suggested. Just let me search, right? Let me watch the videos that I want to watch. Anyways, sometimes you do get good recommendations from YouTube, and I'm okay with YouTube doing that, right? I'm okay with YouTube doing it, but I'm not okay with social media sites doing it. But the one kind of suggestion that I am okay with them doing is the cross-referencing one, where you suggested a user based on like the other people you follow, because that makes it easy for you to find mutuals, right? So I'm okay with that kind of suggestion. I'm not okay with suggested content. You're like, yeah, follow this influencer, follow this page, on your social media. I don't like it. Dude, what I'm realizing is maybe my opinion of social media is just screwed up, and like it's not right, like the way it should be, or it's just different from normal, the way I want it to be, and that is why I'm creating my own thing as well. But this is what I see is wrong with social media, right? Another thing, I recently talked about this with my brother. This is two things that are going on, right? Just like this one, this is your brain, right? This line is your brain, and it's wandering around, right, looking for content, things to watch. These are the things that your brain finds interesting, and this is like the YouTube content or like any suggestive algorithm, right? They go like this, right? Your brain is always a little bit, over or under the YouTube or whatever the algorithm is, right? Whatever platform you're using, basically. But at some point, after you use the platform enough, and after your brain has gotten predictive enough, these lines intersect, and they stay like that. And that is where you spend like these sessions on these platforms. You're like, yeah, take that time away. Because the content is perfectly in sync with what you want to watch. And that is a magical moment, right? No disrespect to all the engineers that made that. To be able to create something like that, just imagine it's like hours and hours of content that is uploaded to YouTube every single minute, like probably a day's worth of content every single minute, definitely more actually. So it's like an engineering feat to do that, but it's just takes so much of your time away, right? Just when this thing intersects, it's like done, over. You're gonna spend a lot of time there. Yeah, that it just sucks you in, man. Like you can't do anything else because what you want to watch is perfectly aligned with what it's gonna suggest you. And yeah, it's just a good session for you then. And the problem is, it's like two camps of people. The people who use it casually and the people who use it like dedicatedly. Now, I believe there are, even though you would think that there are more casual people, I'm actually more, I'm actually certain that there are more people who use it seriously than there are people who use it casually. Because the thing is, the way these algorithms work are they train on the response you give to their action, right? They'll be like, oh, you want to try this content? You're like, yeah, I like it. And then they take feedback from that, right? And you're like, oh, I don't like this. They'll be like, okay, that's bad. Let's not give them that. And based on a variety of factors, they get better, right? So every time you use the platform more, you're training the algorithm. So the people who use it more will have the best experience because the algorithm that's tailored to them is going to perform better, right? Just because they use the platform more. And for casuals, it's going to be worse because they don't use the platform as much, right? But in general, the platform does get better at recommending you stuff because more people are using it. Simple as that. Okay, the next point is a little sensitive. Social validation. I'm actually sure all of us know that to a certain degree, social media is a lot of people do it just for social validation. You're like, yeah, see, I'm doing this, I'm awesome, and people respond with likes, comments, and some part of it is sweet. A lot of it is sweet. People are able to give you a thumbs up or stuff like that. Yeah, great job, man. And at a glance, they're able to keep up with your life. That's like a beautiful thing. But it also turns into like this social validation crave that you get, right? Like, yeah, I must put everything there so that people can see what I'm up to. And if I'm having a bad day, maybe if I put up a post, get some likes, I feel better. And while that is a thing that you could do to feel better, I don't think that's a particularly healthy way to use this, So yeah, I think there's more to say about social validation, but I'm not sure I have formed my thoughts around it particularly well. Not that I've done that with other things, but I think this is particularly weak. On the topic of keeping up with people via posts and then liking them, keeping up with people actually is a lot of trouble. Now, I was not actually following many people. I'm guessing when I was on Instagram, I was following less than 100 people. Most people follow a lot more people than that, right? Thing is, there's so much to like. Not everyone's gonna have something amazing to put, but most people have stories which are low effort content in my understanding. And then there are posts, right? And because you follow these influencers and people who just treat this as a job, you always have something to keep up with, and your friends will talk about it, and your family will talk about it. There's always something to keep up with, and if you don't do it, you get left behind. You're out of the conversation, right? It's like another pull for using social media. You don't want to be left behind. You don't want to be the one who can't talk about things, right? But there's too much to keep up with, honestly. I don't like that. That's why I stopped watching competitive sports as well. So much to keep up with. This like so much to do. Like every season, you gotta watch something new, and you gotta keep up with it because the knowledge from the last season doesn't apply. So, yeah. Anyways, there's also a different nuanced thing that I found very interesting. There's different apps for different things and different people. Now, I'm guessing a lot of you who already use social media and are like hardcore users understand it, but like Snapchat is for a different thing. Instagram is for a different thing, and I don't know if you're still using Facebook. Facebook is for a different thing. It's also for different demographics and different types of content, like the different effort and like different kind as well. Not only like different effort, right? Now, I find it endlessly fascinating because you're like, oh, there's so many different social interactions going on all over the place, and people have defined and gathered around certain apps because they want to interact in a certain way, which is fascinating. Yeah, but like Snapchat has a different thing, Instagram has a different thing, Facebook has a different thing. Now, even though that's like a good thing because you're clarifying the way you want to communicate, but there's also more to keep up with now. Because it's like this Instagram version of you, there's like this Snapchat version of you, there's this LinkedIn version of you, right? There's like different versions of you have to maintain, keep up with everyone else on that platform as well. So yeah, there is let me go to the stream again. I want to make sure that there's no comment that I missed. Because if there's someone, oh my god, there's someone here. Okay, anyways. Yeah, someone, is this, yeah, Aishidi? Acha, this is my friend. Anyways. Wait, I hope, yeah, there's no audio feedback. Cool. Too many things to keep up with. Yeah, so I just don't like the fact that there's so much to keep up with, because for me, my mind space is like a sacred space. I like to keep it that way. I don't like too many things coming into it. I want it to be my own. Oh yeah, there's another thing that I really don't like. I have a very strong hate towards algorithmic feeds on feeds that should be chronological, or chronological in the descending order, basically. So what I think, the way I think feed should be is just this, like, okay, this happened 3 minutes ago, this happened 5 minutes ago, this happened 7 minutes ago, this happened 11 minutes ago. But no, Instagram, they have to do it a different way. They're like, oh, this 11 thing, I think you like more, right? So we put 11 on the top, and then they put 3, and then they put 7, and then they put 5. I'm like, dudes, what is going on? Just give me a chronological feed so that I have a good understanding of what's going on in my social media life, right? I hate the algorithmic feed. It should be just chronological. If you don't want to make it chronological, just give me an option to have that, right? I don't want an algorithmic feed. I want it to be chronological. It's not difficult to do. It's the same algorithm. It's just change the way you're ordering it, right? You're just getting the same data. Just let me order it chronologically. Simple as that. Maybe there's an option to do that, but I didn't explore enough. So there's like a caveat to that, but I'm pretty sure they just have an algorithmic feed, man. If I make it, it's gonna be chronological with an option to make it algorithmic, sorry. But I don't know how that algorithm would even work. So yeah, it's gonna be chronological for a while. And yeah, another weird thing is you see your friends and you see celebrities and your life in the same lens, in the same context, right? You see, I don't know, Casey Neistat doing something, and then you'd see your friend doing something, and then you'd be like, oh, should I even post this? Like, you see some, like, let's just say Casey Neistat, he's running, 13 miles, or I don't know what that translates into. That 13 would be like 21, 22 kilometers, right? You're like, yeah, he ran 22 kilometers. Your friend just ran like 5 kilometers, right? And you're like, should I even post my 4 kilometers? Even though it's like a big achievement for you, you just started running 4 kilometers of a solid run. It's a good run. It does not matter that it's not, up to Casey's standards, or a marathon like runner standard, or like an ultra marathon runner standard, right? Fascinatingly, ultra marathon is not like a defined length. I think it's like anything over a certain amount is like ultra marathon. I found it weird. Anyways, I digress. So that gives you like a false context. Okay, this person looks really good. Now my friend looks just pretty average, as in like good considered to you or in your sphere. And you're like, oh, should I even post about myself? Or you're like, hey, this person got this big award, right? This, like, I don't know, some scientists, they got like the physics Nobel Prize, because that's like, they announced that recently. Did you see that video, by the way? Amazing. What was it? Bell's something theorem. Basically entanglement of quantum particles and information. By the way, the information does not actually travel faster than light. That's like a thing that people don't understand properly. You're not actually, there's no information that's traveling faster than the speed of light. Anyways, again, it's a super cool thing though. Watch the ceremony. First they talk about the experiment, and then they talk about the people that actually, the first one was just a thought experiment, and then the people that got the award, I think they did like the actual real physical experiment. Einstein was wrong, by the way. So that's fascinating. Yeah, friends and celebrities on the same thing. I don't think that works. You should not have celebrities, unless you are like actually friends with the celebrities, on the same feed as your normal people, friends, who are just normal, average, good people, right? They don't need to be on the same thing with, I don't know, some other celebrities. Just your brain does not like change the context quick enough to, okay, this is a celebrity, this is my friend, this is me. You kind of see the same thing through the same lens, even though it's like different contexts. You should see them differently. You don't, which is just not work. I don't see how that works, right? That should not be the way it should be done, in my opinion. That is just not the way that I wanted to do it. I don't want to preach anything. If you want to use it that way, go ahead, right? Maybe you like it. You're like, yeah, I can get the gossip here as well. I can see what my friend is up to here as well. I can post myself here as well. And that works. Hey, it's, you have freedom of choice. So place for privacy. Now I think this applies more to celebrities, but I think it goes with normal people as well. When you do something, it becomes customary to post it on some social media. You're like, yeah, I did that, and then your friend would be like, oh, I didn't see it. Then you're like, yeah, I didn't. Like, the acceptable response, in my opinion, should be, yeah, I just didn't want to post it because, like, whatever, right? But like the actual thing that happens is people just post everything that they do in life is on social media, so that other people can keep up with it. It becomes like a real life soap opera or something like that, right? You can keep up with your real friends. It's like a TV show, but about your friends, right? And you make something about yourself as well. You want to post everything that you're doing there, which I find really annoying. I'm a private person. I like to keep things to myself, right? I generally don't like to put out my life for everyone to see. Right? This is kind of a part of it. Because I'm going to work on this, I thought I would share my perspective. Maybe I'm wrong in a lot of regards, but I thought I would explain where I'm coming from, because I'm going to work on this, right? Oh, yeah. The next thing I think is a really funny name. It might not be funny to you. I call people who just keep on refreshing pages refresh junkies. I'm sorry if that's disrespectful, but you know that action, you're like, whoop, and you pull it down, and then the thing reloads. You get like the symbol at the top, and then something new comes up. You're like, oh, jackpot, and you do it like a couple of times, and you're like, yeah, that's what I was waiting for. That moment. It's very cleverly designed, actually. That's not accident. That's no accident that you get like something good, not intermittently, right? You don't get it always. It's really. I think there was like this experiment about pigeons, and if you pull a lever, you'd get food. There's this one set of pigeons who would be like, okay, you pull the lever, you get food. The next set of pigeons, or maybe it was like a press a button. The next set of pigeons, they didn't always get food. They sometimes got it, right? So because of that, they just constantly were hitting the button, like, not because they just got addicted to it, because there was intermittent reward. Like you weren't sure if you'd get the reward, right? And it's the same thing about those casino machines, and these are really smart people making these, by the way. Our brains are like not going to compete with them, just they're not, because they are using science, behavioral psychology or something like that. They're really gonna they really have the upper hand, so you got no shot of competing with them. I don't either, so I just quit the game. Okay, promotions. Oh my goodness, I hate them as well. Because you're following celebrities, there's going to be promotions on the page, right? You're going to see ads along with your friends suggesting something. Hey, look, I got these cool shoes, they're nice. Also, there'll be a celebrity suggesting the same thing. You're like, oh look, I got these cool shoes, they're nice. Now your friend might be genuinely posting it because it's not an ad, right? But the celebrity, they're getting paid for it. Now obviously there's like this whole thing, when you put hashtag ad and sponsored and stuff like that, you have to make it clear that it's sponsored. But I'm not sure the brain switches context quickly enough. I mean, that is why they kind of work, right? The reach and the trust, right? And if that wasn't the case, companies wouldn't be paying these influencers on all these platforms. But I don't like that. I'm like, can I please keep my social media feed ad free, at least from you guys that I follow? Now, I understand that the business model is they create content for you, and a part of it is sponsored so that they can pay for the content that they make, right? It's completely understandable. But I don't want that on my home feed. I'm okay with that being on YouTube. I'm okay with that being on Netflix. I'm okay with that being on TV. Like I'm actually consuming content. I'm like, okay, I understand. But I don't want to consume content on social media sites. Those are for relations only. Anyways, I don't like promotions. That's not going to be something I'm going to actively try and have. There are two platforms I would like to mention. This is one called BeReal and Paparazzi, right? I haven't used both of these, but I think they're good. BeReal, I think, is quite a good app. I think the way it's structured is good. I liked Beam as well. Again, a Casey Neistat thing. I've brought him up twice now. Weird. But I like the concept of Beam. You just put the phone and it would record. And now I was post Beam era as well, so I wasn't really using social media in 2015. I was like, what, 11? So yeah, that was not something I did, but I like the idea. You just record and it would post. You can't edit it, you can't see it, like it's just bam, sent, done. I like the idea a lot. I don't know, it didn't work, I guess. Okay, BeReal. I like the idea of BeReal. I like how it's done, right? This is less about structuring your life for Instagram or any of these platforms. I don't like when people structure lives around it, I guess. I think the thing that I don't like about BeReal, I think, now I've not used it and I have like very weak understanding of it, but it's that it pushes your notification and then you have to record it then, right? And it records the front cam and the back cam as well, and then again you have a feed and stuff like that. Now I don't know if you can follow influencers on that, you get promotions on that, and other things, but I won't be surprised if that is the case. Now Paparazzi is something that I wanted to make about a year ago, maybe more, a year and a half ago, I guess. Now that platform was basically, again, me being lazy. I was like, okay, I'll just let my friends curate my social media feed. Turns out someone made that like 1 year and 1.5 years ago, and they actually raised a lot of money, and it was quite a huge hit. I couldn't work on it obviously because, high school. But I think it is like some $137 million, or maybe at that valuation. So yeah, a lot of money. But the thing about social media apps is it's just always a huge bet. Some of them blow up, some of them don't. Most of them don't. Only like a very few blow up. But I like the idea of Paparazzi, where your friends curate your feed. Now I can see why that would be more addictive as well, because first you only had, like, at first when you're doing your feed, you only have one thing to manage, your own feed. But now you can manage 10, 20, 30 feeds. Think about the amount of content people will post and the amount of interactions, because if I am posting on 10 pages instead of posting on one, there's like 9x more content on the platform, which means when you scroll on your feed, you have a lot more things to see, which means you would spend more time as well. And if their algorithm is good, it will suck you in, right? Because again, more content which means they'll be able to pick from, right? They'll have more variety of things that will draw you in. It's 1:09 right now. I have a morning. I have to get up at 6 tomorrow because I'm gonna cycle and then go for a run with friends. cycle back home. So I should really be sleeping, but I thought I wanted to get this done today. I was busy with some work, but I wanted to get this done, so I'm recording it now. I know I'm low energy, but this is kind of a manifesto, really. Okay, so I was watching, no, because I'm kind of into these things. I watched this Ed Sheeran interview. I found him to be interesting, where he goes like, when I see someone post 10, 20, 30 stories, right? I want to reach out and ask, are you doing okay? Are you having a shitty day? Like, are you good, right? Because them, like, for him, he just says, it's basically a marketing tool now. It's no longer a social media platform. It's a marketing tool for them, right? So you're basically, so in his view, the person who is posting 20, 30 stories, like what he meant by that was a lot of stories, right, of them, is having a bad day because they're marketing themselves, so that you'll say, oh, cool dress, or nice location, or damn, didn't know you could do that. you know Basically some sort of social validation, some sort of love, just feel good about themselves. And when he put it that way, I was like, yeah, makes a lot of sense. I mean, I have had that feeling when someone posts a lot of things. I'm like, not a good day. I just want to share how great their day is. Just like, okay. Now I want to share some of the things that my friends have also added. They shall remain nameless. The first thing that they pointed out was time drain. It drains a lot of your time. I mean, obviously that's what it means. Sorry for explaining it, but it really is. And I think that is the number one reason why people hate it, because they understand that a lot of their time gets sucked into this. Second thing is the reduced attention span. Now, I'm not on TikTok. I don't like reels. I don't watch YouTube shorts, like, ever, basically. Statistically negligible. But yeah, it is an absolute tragedy, the attention span that we're losing. Anything difficult requires a lot of attention. It requires constant mental effort and strain, and these sites make that part weaker because they're constantly giving you easy dopamine hits, right? Easy, super easy. So, like, it's just so bad. Dude, I normally sleep by like 11:30. It's just super late. Anyways, next thing. The human mind wasn't supposed to know so many people. Now again, this comes from the same thing as overstimulation that I talk about. But it is true. Like, how many people should you logically know? 150. Maybe 200. I think because of social media, you could probably keep up with 300 people. Not done any research on that. But for me, and I think it depends. Some people are more social. Some people are more reserved. Yours truly. So I think 30 people would be a lot for me. Like, enough for me to keep up with. For some people, it might be 200. They're like, yeah, I'm gonna keep up with all of my friends. I have so many friend groups. Anyways, that is another point he mentioned, which I think is super valid. And another thing he says, like, having literally hundreds of millions of people hear what you say is mad. Like, think about that, right? If I tweet something, it has the potential to reach millions and millions of people. And I'm not sure if that is what he meant, but, like, come on. I mean, the power comes with its responsibilities and consequences as well, right? I don't know if employers do background checks. I don't know if that's legal, but yeah. interesting. But yeah, again, it's like so many things. And it goes the other way around as well. When someone like Cristiano Ronaldo or someone posts something, they get so much, they're flooded with all of this thing. I'm sure they don't consume it because they know better. But like, come on. So millions of people talk about you. Oh God. Your mind is just not able to understand the scale of that, right? Because the problem is you're just biased towards the negative. That's evolutionary, right? You kind of, the danger is what's going to kill you, not the good things. So even if 99% of the feedback that you get is amazing, which is I think better than most movies do on like these rating websites like Rotten Tomatoes or something, that means you're doing a phenomenal job. 99% approval rating across the world, you're doing a great job. But that 1% at the scale of tens of millions becomes so large that you have so much negativity to to read and to get and to put into your head. It's maddening, absolutely maddening. Okay, I think that is what that ends what he had to say. They had to say, but now obviously there are platform specific problems as well, from Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, Reddit. Oh yeah, Reddit has a lot of problems, by the way. So Facebook, I think the platform has gotten old, it's gotten slow, it's gotten sluggish, it's gotten overly commercialized. I don't use it, but that is what I understand. Twitter, I'm sure every single one of you knows, is an absolute fire hose of negativity. It's also a place for great intellectual conversation. But what I've noticed is those things go hand in hand. Wherever there's like great intellectual conversation, there's also like a ton of negativity and bullying and just like mockery of people. That happens on Twitter, that happens on Reddit, that happens on Stack Overflow as well, and basically Overflow websites. Like with hate, like I don't know if it's hate, it's just them trying to protect their intellectual space, I guess. I don't know. Hacker News has somehow been immune to this, which is interesting. Hacker News is another great website that you should use. I think it's a strong recommendation from me. That is Facebook. Instagram, I think I have talked a lot about Instagram. I talked about Twitter. Sorry, that was Twitter. No, Instagram, I think I've talked enough about. Snapchat, I like the fact that it's low effort. You can just post anything to Snapchat and the things just appear, right? But that brings along with it like this responsibility and the amount. Again, see, there's two things. When you're posting a lot, it also means you're also consuming a lot, because on a platform that requires you to post more, that means that other people are also posting more, which means you have a lot more to consume. Now these are shorter packages, right? So for me, I like to watch a 3-hour podcast. Like I would watch a Lex Friedman podcast. I do it in one sitting, right? I watch it at 3x, but it's like a 1-hour video either way, right? So that's probably, I spend more time than someone going through all of their Snapchat stories. Probably, I don't know how many people get, what the average duration. I'm guessing it's like a 10-second thing, just based on the amount of time, or maybe 30 seconds. Maybe just based on the time that people hold that button when they're shooting a snap. But it's like super crazy the amount of content that's running through their servers, right? And the thing that comes to you, it's like boom, so much to do. Reddit, oh my goodness, have you seen the moderation on Reddit? It's crazy. Also, some Reddit comments are really funny, some Reddit comments are insightful, a lot of Reddit comments are hurtful. Just spewing hate. Fortunately, you can pick the subreddits that you will be a part of, and you can filter that out. Just be mindful with the subreddits you pick. My tip would be just go specific, super niche, super specific, and try and pick something that's non-toxic, right? Like I develop my apps using Django, right? So I'm part of the Django subreddit. It has been massively helpful over the past 2 years, and it's just generally a good place to talk about Django. I'm also a part of a subreddit called Web Design or Web Dev. Yeah, I think I'm also designing something, but Web Dev. Web Dev is, I think it's like 10 times bigger than Django. There's also a lot more hate on Web Dev, right? So these small niche communities are generally more useful in terms of feedback. They're more critical, or they give more what is it called, creative criticism or something like that. No, I'm just completely drawing a blank here. Anyways, it's just, yeah, it's constructive criticism. That's what it is. That's what they give, like smaller communities. And I think this is just a function of the number of people in the platform or in the subreddit. The more people there are, the more bad people there are as well. Like bad, I don't mean like bad as in like they are flawed as humans, but it's just bad as in they comment bad things that would make others taste bad. And there's more of them, and somehow they just congregate more on these bigger, wider spaces. So I think going niche is a good idea. Now I don't consider TikTok to be a social media app, by the way. A lot of people might put it in that category. I don't, because TikTok is an entertainment platform. It's like Netflix, in my opinion. Have you seen that story about some influencer from TikTok with like millions? I think it was like close to 2, maybe 3 million followers. Was like, oh, I'll do a meetup, and then no one showed. It's so sad, but that is just the way TikTok is. It's not a place to build a loyal following. You build your loyal followings on longer form content. For example, podcasts. They're a great way to build a community. They're also incredibly hard to grow. So it's like a trade-off, right? Anything that's hard to grow will foster a better community. Always. Always. That's just going to be a rule. YouTube is another great place to foster a community. Twitter, again, I think for the right type of audience, is another great place to foster the community. My camera ran out of battery, so I'm just gonna kill it, and we're gonna have a black screen stream, because I'm just gonna be done in like a few minutes. Now, don't construe me or don't misunderstand me. Basically, I think there are responsible ways of using social media. I think people can use it in a responsible, good way that does not hamper their life, that does not hamper their happiness, that makes them more happy than less happy. I think social media makes more people less happy than it makes people more happy. Anyways, or basically it makes more people sadder than when you compare it to the number of people that it makes happier, right? So I think there's definitely ways in which you would use it responsibility and in a good way, in that it adds to your life. I just think the companies make it incredibly hard to do. Do I think social media apps have a space in today's world? Absolutely. Do I think the current versions of social media apps are the way to do it? I don't think so. I think there are better ways to make a social media platform. Monetizing it is a whole nother beast, right? It's just so difficult. Now, what have I done to date? Now, I've been working on a research paper, so the progress on this particular project has been slow. But I have what is it called? I don't know what the technical term for it is. But excuse me, just like a project document where you are like, okay, this is what I wanted to have. I have that. Like, I think those are called like specs. I have the specs done. I have um, the project design done, like what the apps I'm gonna make. I have the database schema done. I'm still deciding if I want to go native Django or make it an API, because I'm actually going to make it an API, because which is a difficult choice, because I know how to. I could have probably made this in 10 days if I just went, hey, I mean, I could have probably made this in 10 hours if I wanted, like, okay, you know what, let's just make the bare minimum thing, right? It's going to look bad, but I'm going to make it. So I have the database schema. I have integrated some social logins. Facebook, please hurry up. Accept my request. Let me integrate with your product. So I have that done. I have a friend, the person who sent me these things, these inputs, who's gonna probably work on it with me sometime soon. He's busy with college right now, but I believe he'll probably join me sometime. But till then, I'm gonna make this alone. Maybe I can make the web version, and when he joins in, he can work on the app version, because I believe ultimately more people will use this as an app than a website. Have you seen how shitty Instagram's website is on the phone? It's absolute garbage. Anyways, I'm gonna end this now. I think I've made my point. Something's gonna come soon. The platform that I'm gonna create will not be for everyone, probably. There are people who like to be hyper connected, who like the refreshing junkiness, and I respect that. It's just that that's not what I want to do. That's not the kind of platform I want to use. So I'm going to make something of my own, and I've already started work. I have the core concept, and as soon as I have something to release, I will, and you'll use it, and you'll love it. Because if you agree with everything I spoke, or not even everything, most of what I spoke today, this is going to be the perfect platform for you. You're going to love it. Anyways, with that, I end this. Good night. Yeah, I'm going to get like 4.5 hours of sleep.